What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Keep It Hoop YouTube channel. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. A lot of times on this channel we focus mainly on just doing film breakdowns, but today, with the game coming up in just under 3 hours, I wanted to just do predictions, talk about a few keys and things to watch out for in Game 6. So I'll start off with keys. I do think that the role players for the Celtics are going to be really big tonight. I think that, guys like Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Derek White, the Celtics really need them to step up. I think that, Tatum and Brown are going to have pretty good games. Despite Jason Tatum's turnover and shooting problems throughout the finals, I think that he's going to have a big game tonight. And Jaylen Brown has probably been the best player for the Celtics. So, I think if the Celtics can get combined 40 to 50 points out of Marcus Smart, Al Horford, and Derek White, I do think that they can take this game. Role players often play better at home. And you're talking about a must-win, winner-go-home situation. And, guys like Horford and Smart, they're competitors. They're going to play with a lot of heart. And, yeah, I think they're going to have big games. And I think the Celtics are going to need it if they're going to win this game. Another thing to keep an eye on for the Celtics are going to be the turnovers, right? It's no secret at this point that the Celtics struggle with turnovers. So when they don't turn the ball over, they're an elite team. But when they do turn it over, their offense tends to be very sloppy, and it can lead to fast break opportunities for the other teams. And a lot of games that they've lost throughout these playoffs have been because of their turnover issues. And Jason Tatum is the main culprit of that, but Jaylen Brown has had bad games with turnovers, so has Marcus Smart. Those are the three guys that handle the ball the most for the Celtics, and none of them are true playmakers or offensive facilitators. And the good news for, the Celtics is they are pretty easy to fix problems. I think that if you look at the Celtics turnovers, for the most part, it's just being more careful with the ball, but also just making the reads a second or two quicker. I don't think any three of these guys are bad passers per se. I think a lot of times they're actually making the right reads. I think Marcus Smart a little bit less so than Jaylen Brown and Tatum. I think Tatum and Brown make the right reads a lot of times, but they tend to do so a little bit late. Maybe a second or two too late. They end up holding onto the ball a little bit too late, which allows the help defender to come, get a hand on the ball or just, strip them. And I think if they can get the ball out a second or two quicker, they'll be able to limit their turnovers, which should help with point number one, get guys like Smart, Derek White, Al Horford open shots, and then get them going as well. The last thing to kind of keep an eye on for the Celtics is the health and explosiveness of Robert Williams. I think it's been well documented that Robert Williams is a game changer for the Celtics when he's out there, and not just out there, but looking healthy. He's quick and explosive. He takes an already really good defense to an elite level, and he also provides the offense with a bit of a lob threat, which is something, they don't really have with a guy like Al Horford. So if Robert Williams can be the Robert Williams from, Game 3, very active on the boards offensively and defensively, out there hedging a lot of those Steph Curry screens, as well as just being able to contest everything at the rim and even so do so without fouling, I think the Celtics have a very good shot at winning this game. If he's laboring out there like he was at times during Game 5, it's going to be even more difficult for them. On the Warriors side, a couple of things to keep an eye on. One is going to be Klay 6, right? Game 6 Klay, it is no secret at this point that he has historically had a few very good games for Game 6s. But it's also important to note that it's not like he plays great every Game 6. There has been Game 6s where he's just average. And I do think that the whole Game 6 Klay meme or joke or moniker, whatever you want to call it, does get overplayed at times. I think he'll have a solid game today. I think he'll go for around 18, 19 points, a couple threes. But I don't think he's going to have the 30, 35 point performance that he's had for Game 6s in the past. I do think he'll be solid, though. Another guy to keep an eye on for the Warriors is going to be Andrew Wiggins, who exploded in Game 5, was the main reason they won that game. And, I've seen people say that that's going to be the performance that kind of gets him really going. Is it going to help him break out? I don't really understand that because it's not like Andrew Wiggins is young. Like, he's not super old, but we've seen him have good games and good stretches before. The problem with Andrew Wiggins isn't the skill or the ability. I think we've all seen him play well before. It's just the consistency and the mental aspect of staying engaged and staying aggressive. Now, granted, he's done a good job for the Warriors overall this season. I just don't see someone at his age who has played as many games as he has break out all of a sudden after a good game, which is something again we've seen him do before. We've seen him perform before. Again, I don't think he's gonna be bad. I think he's gonna be kind of coming back to earth and then doing something along the lines of what he's been doing before Game 5. Around 18 points, playing really good defense, rebounding the ball well. But I don't see him exploding, and having the kind of performance that he had in Game 5. And last but not least, Steph Curry is my last key for Game 6. And it's just because he had an awful Game 5, right? Awful by his standards. Didn't make a three for the first time, I think, in about 2 years. And, I think last time he was coming off of a game where he made no threes. I think he made 13 threes. And, I don't expect Steph to struggle at all because I don't think Game 5 was a sign that the Celtics figured anything out. Like, I think they've been playing solid defense in all series. But I don't think Game 5 was, anything that Boston did. I think for the most part, it was just Steph missing shots. I looked back at the highlights of Game 5 and you just realize that a lot of those shots he missed were shots he usually makes. So I expect him to make those shots tonight. I expect him to, have a big game, go back over the 30-point mark, and, go after that Finals MVP. Predictions-wise, I have the Celtics. I think, like I alluded to earlier, I think the role players are going to show up big. And, I think Tatum's going to have a good game as well. And, I just think that, playing with urgency, win or go home situation, they're going to be playing in front of that loud and super passionate crowd at TD Garden. And yeah, I think they're going to use that to their advantage. And I do think it's going to be a close game. Like, the Warriors have enough experience and veteran leadership to know that they can't take the Celtics lightly. I think they're also going to come out with urgency. I just think the Celtics are going to be playing with more of it. The Warriors know how fragile and delicate a Game 7 is. They were on the wrong side of one a few years ago. I do expect it to be a close, hard-fought, physical game. I think it's going to be defensive-minded. Maybe some nerves at the beginning, but I also think both teams are just going to be super locked in defensively. But yeah, I expect the Celtics to win. I think it's going to be single digits. I don't think it's going to be too much of a blowout or anything like that. And yeah, that'll be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, or I guess more so of a podcast this time. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment. All those things mean a lot. And we'll be back tomorrow with an actual podcast, either looking forward to Game 7 or reviewing Game 6 at the finals and the whole season. So yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. Excited. Also, remember to follow us on Twitter. We'll be tweeting throughout the game. But yeah, we'll see you guys again soon. Peace.